Hey guys, what's up? This is Shubhadeep from eGadgets for you, and this is the new Micromax Canvas Mega 4G, the latest handset from Micromax. Looks premium, build wise it looks like metal, although it's premium plastic. At the back you do have a good matte finish that gives a good grip of this particular handset. First initial impressions and the first look of this particular handset will give you the feeling that the display is wide in the Micromax Canvas Mega 4G. You will find that the edges are very thin, although it looks like as if the full phone has a beautiful display over here. So that does comes in handy for viewing purposes as well. On the swipe down menu, you will find that the auto brightness sensors are present over here. Moving ahead and going to settings, you find the standard stuffs that comes along with any stock Android that runs on this particular Micromax Canvas Mega 4G as well. If we go to about phone, you find this particular device runs an Android version of 5.1, which is Lollipop straight out of the box. Storage wise, it does not skimp at all. It has a 16 gigs of internal memory and has a provision to add a micro SD card that supports up to 32 gigs. Quite disappointingly, this particular device does not support an OTG. So that may be a negative point, but then again you do have a plenty of space and storage to play around and use this particular handset also for. Moving ahead with the settings, you find that it has a pretty useful stuffs of location, security, accounts, language input, pretty basic and the standard stuffs that you are accustomed to get so. But moving ahead, we do have this particular multi-gesture setting that says about the slide up and slide down, and that will open the specific particulars of message or your phone while your phone is being locked. So those are smart implementations. App manager, location, apps, battery, storage, sounds notification, display, each and everything are pretty standard that are found in any other Android devices as well. This particular device has a lot of bloatware. As per of my opinion, it has apps like Amazon, the Clean Masters, the Quicker, Chat Z, MLive, Monster Truck Saga, etc, etc. So that is not at all in sync with the latest offering of handset that we get to see from other companies as well. Then again, we do have to take a look at this particular app that says Zaza Remote. Before pointing this particular app, I must say that the Micromax Canvas Mega 4G has a IR blaster, so you can use this particular device for the remote. If you go ahead, you see that the option to add remotes, so it gives you a quite a lot of option to choose your electronic device for which you want to set this particular device to act as a remote for it. The Micromax Canvas 4G has a 5.5 inch of screen. It has an IPS panel, HD display. It supports a resolution of 1280 into 720 pixels. The IPS panel makes sure of the fact that at any viewing angles you will not find that black textures or the tint sharpness or stuffs like that. Display angles are quite superb. As also the display of this particular handset being a HD display does adds up to the wow factor. In any point of view you will find that it has a great display, a decent one. Love it. Quite a handset to get at a very low price from Micromax. The Micromax Canvas Mega 4G supports dual micro SIM. It has a HD display, 5.5 inch of screen, but it has compromised a lot in the battery portion. It has only 2500 mAh of battery. Comparing it to be a big device, a great device from a display perspective and good for multitasking, the battery is quite low. On very high usage, even with games like Asphalt 8, Dead Trigger 2 and stuff like that, and multitasking, the battery barely exists for one full working day. But that is my experience. But if you are not a heavy gamer and you rely on your handset for other multitasking issues, then it will quite easily last for a full working day. Micromax could have added a little bit of extra juice to this battery. Let's talk specs. In the Antutu benchmark test, the Micromax Canvas Mega 4G gives you a very healthy 25,538. That is a great score. Dig deep into the device info and you will find that this particular handset runs on a 1.3 GHz quad-core processor on a MediaTek MT6735 chipset. It has a 3 gigs of RAM. That is the most powerful and the wow factor of this particular device. Multitasking is a delight. The power of a 3 gigs of RAM and the chipset and other aspect of the Micromax Canvas Mega 4G can easily be depicted while browsing the net. It loads a page very fast. As you can see that with a blink of an eye it loads a very heavy page quite easily. The pinch to zoom works perfect. IPS panel makes sure that you have a great viewing angle in this particular handset. So that does comes to the wow factor. You can easily read stuffs, read your documents, go through your office files, watch movies as you will. Here just at the bottom you find this particular option just on the left hand side of the back button that has a down button. Press on that and the home button and the multitasking button and the back button just vanishes over there. But then again you just need to swipe it up and it again comes back. So that is a good adjustment to this particular handset, giving you that extra feel of a bigger screen. The speaker grills in this particular handset is nicely crafted. If I put full volume for a particular video, you see that it gives a very decent sound output. But then again I want to show you a disadvantage. While playing in full volume, if I just keep my hand over there in the speaker grills, you see the sound disappears a lot. So maybe while watching movies, if you accidentally put your hand, that may add to the negative factor. Performance of this device does not lag while playing high-end games like Asphalt 8 as well. The display, viewing angles are quite superb. IPS panel makes sure that there is no tint of darkness around the edges even at acute angles while playing games. You see there is no lag whatsoever in this particular game also. It did not exhibit any hitting issues even on high gaming and high usage as well. Playing heavy games in a bigger screen of 5.5 inch and a HD display just adds to the wow factor for gamers. It is a delight for gamers. The price that this particular handset comes along with and the power that it exhibits is quite amazing. Dial pads are big, crisp, clear and distinct. You can easily type in figures, numbers, good for users of any age. Messaging is also a delight. The alphabetical pad is quite evenly placed, very easy to use, type as well. The numpad is different from the alphabetical pad as is quite evident in the Micromax handset. It's a pure delight. The viewing angles are superb. The display is great according to me. Now comes the most important aspect of this particular handset, that is the camera. It has a 13 megapixel shooter at the back with autofocus LED flash. It has some of the wonderful settings and plenty of them to play around with, and you can take that particular picture as per your wish and will. You can use the ISO, the gradienter, the continuous shot, the auto scene detection, the smile shot, face detection, voice capture and whatnot. Even for video playing, it does gives you quite a lot of important features. Now let me guide you through some of the pictures that I've taken using this particular handset. You find that the point at which you use the autofocus, that does comes great. Even in low light conditions, shooting some complex objects, you will find amazing clarity in them. The textures, the brightness, the saturation levels, color contrast, each and everything does comes perfect in this particular camera. Even on low light condition and use of a flash, it just makes your picture go wow, as is quite evident in this particular picture as well. Mind you, I have told about the back camera. The front camera is a disaster. It did not take good selfies. In low light condition, it just did not give you that perfect picture at all. So my only complaint with the camera is the front camera. Now as far as my verdict goes for the Micromax Canvas Mega 4G, it's priced something around 10,900 INR. Having said that, it has a 3 gigs of RAM, it has 5.5 inch of screen display with HD quality and IPS panel. Those are some of the great features that this particular handset possesses. The viewing angles display is superb. The back camera is great, although the front camera is a disaster. But then again, the price and the screen quality that this particular phone possesses, it's a definite thumbs up. Even for gamers, a bigger screen and the 3 gigs of RAM comes handy. Browsing the net is a pure delight. The viewing angles, pinch to zoom works perfect each and every time. There is not much complaint. You get a lot of bloatware, but then it never hangs. That way or the other, this particular device does get a thumbs up for me. Hope this video helps. Please stay subscribed to my YouTube channel to catch more interesting updates for me. That's it guys. Bye for now.